All right, guys, in this call, I'm reaching out to the ex-husband of the contact I originally talked to. They have lost their son. It's his only son. It was her middle son, and she's got a couple children with another husband. And most of this call is really about building a rapport. Most of it is just giving my condolences and trying to get on the same page with him and letting him know that I care about him and I want him to do well. And we talk about a little bit of politics and religion and family. And again, most of the conversation is just me trying to let him know who I am. And I think this is so important with probate. I really honestly don't think getting down to business immediately and only talking about how you can help that person and strictly talking business is going to be the right approach in most, especially probate cases. That can work, and that's fine if somebody wants to shut you down and doesn't want to get personal with you. Then you can always switch to more matter of fact and more business-like. But if they are willing to open up to you and share with you how they're feeling, I strongly suggest you go ahead and do that. In this particular case, I'm going to be competing against two other people. One is going to be the attorney's realtor, and another one might have come from the attorney as well, or it might have come just from cold calling like I did. So again, when you have multiple other options that the person can choose, the more time you can spend with them and the better they can get to know you, the better off I'm going to be, or the better off you're going to be. So take that to heart. And the other thing we talk about in this conversation is I try to get a number from him, what he wants. His number was a little bit higher than his ex-wife's number, but I do want to ask that if just to find out if he'll give it to me. And then I also told him I would give him 3 different options. One's going to be a sub-2 option, one's going to be a cash purchase, and then I'll also talk about what we can do on the MLS. In this situation, it sounds like they just want to get rid of the home as quickly as possible, even though everybody always says that until you actually make them an offer, and then all of a sudden they want to make more money. So we'll see, but that's why I have both options, because again, everybody says they just want to do it quick and just want cash, and then you offer them that, and then once that reality hits them, they're like, okay, maybe we can wait a little bit longer. So I find you don't want to try to lock them into any particular route forward. You want to just present them options. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoy this phone call and got a lot of value out of it. Watch to the end, and go ahead and like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you'd like to ever reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. Hello, Wilbur.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Wilbur. My name is Ken Blumberg. I was speaking with Lois. Did she tell you that I was going to be reaching out to you?
She did.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, hey, first and foremost, my condolences to you for your loss.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, as hard as it is, even just to acknowledge it, I want to do that because, again, I can only imagine what you're going through. Was that your only son?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying to Lois, I mean, it sounds like she's got some, other children, and I would imagine that's a comfort. So how are you? How are you dealing with everything?
It's just a daily grind, right? I mean, he and I used to talk basically every day, and it's not good.
Right. Okay. You getting some support though?
Oh yeah, I have family here and everything, so, and friends, but yeah, it's still, I see something stupid on TV and I start crying. You know what I'm saying? It's not fun, but I wouldn't wish it upon anybody.
Yeah. Are you a religious man yourself, Wilbur?
I was raised that way, but no.
No. Okay. Yeah, and I'm kind of wasn't raised that way, and I guess it depends on who would ask, but I do believe in God, now, or at least a divine force that makes this whole thing run. I don't even know if it's a man or what it is, but some kind of energy. And I just try to look at it like a blessing to experience it, regardless, how it happens, I guess, or if somebody's in control or not.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I just, there's so much stuff we're never going to understand. So, I don't have kids. I'm 54, so I do sort of look at you into some regard to say you were lucky to have what you had, have a son like that and somebody that you were super close to and that loves you, and
Yeah, I miss it every day.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, my condolences, and I appreciate you, even with your grief, taking the time to talk to me.
She and I both just kind of want to get this over with. I don't want to ever hear or even think about Las Vegas ever again.
I understand. Right, I understand. All right, and I told Lois, I might look at the house for myself. And then if I'll probably, are you're going to come to town with her though once?
I am not. No, she's going, and she's going to take care of all that herself. I mean, we're going to have an agreement before she goes, and we'll discuss anything that she wants to discuss. Basically, I mean, we've known each other for 46 or 47 years, however long it's been, and I mean, she's become one of my best friends now. After, I mean, yeah.
Hey, just because it doesn't work as a marriage doesn't mean people can't still really care about each other and trust one another and think highly of one another. So it's
it didn't happen overnight,
Right.
We had a son, and so I'm not just gonna freaking cut her off and then cut my son off. It's like no way. It's just not gonna happen. So.
Right, you did the right thing for him, and then it turned out to be a blessing for you as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, which is kind of cool that in a way that it was you did it out of selflessness at first, and then it turns out.
Well, I wouldn't quite go that far. I mean, I wanted my son too, So, I mean, even as a child, he was my life.
Right. Well, when I say with selflessness, I mean that you kept that relationship with Lois, for your son, and that was selfless.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know whether I deserve it or not because I was an asshole sometimes.
Right. Well, aren't we all?
Yes.
But
perfect out there.
But the fact that you could acknowledge it, I mean, I think most people are very insane a lot of times, but they don't seem to be able to recognize that in themselves at all.
Self-absorbed, I would say, more so than not, but yeah.
Yeah, like, do you know you're just, did something that's pretty crazy, and they're like, nope.
Yeah.
I can't be wrong ever.
Yeah, take responsibility, for Christ's sake. I mean,
yeah, I think that's the the mantra of our age.
Yeah.
Take responsibility, please.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. The way it looks now, I don't know. They don't want to take responsibility for anything.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well, I guess at the end of an empire, they when things are going good, there's strong leaders leading it and pushing.
Where are they
at? Well, that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the empire, it's just like everybody got fat and rich, and then it's all excuses and chaos. But but again, like life, it'll be I would imagine it will be rebuilt again. We might not see it, but
I hope it is. I hope it comes back a million times better. You're right. We're not going to see it. It won't be in our lifetimes for sure. But because it doesn't happen overnight.
Right. Again, these are the things that happen over centuries, civilizations rising and falling.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
we're much more aware now than we were 200 years ago. I mean.
Well, right. Well, yeah, we can study history, and we have, the
absolutely
the written word and the ability to look back. But I do try to keep that in mind as I'm looking at the state of affairs in America. Just go, still pretty fortunate to live in the time that we've lived in. And
right, I agree.
Yeah, and it's just like every empire fails at some point. Generally,
only lasts so long.
So, yeah, but all right, yeah. So you're not coming to Las Vegas. I was hoping I'd get to meet you in person, but obviously I understand that it might be too difficult, the time and the money and the emotional.
Yeah. And I have my own health problems too. So.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. So does she. I mean, Lois does too.
Okay.
But we're both having emphysema and congestive heart failure and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard to walk to the bathroom.
Oh wow. Okay. And I told her, she sounds pretty healthy. You sound pretty healthy to me as well.
As long as I'm not up trying to walk or move around or do anything physical whatsoever, yeah, I'm fine. But yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. But so Wilbur, I guess what I'll do is when I do finally meet with Lois, I'll probably make her. I'll give her 3 options on kind of what she could do. One would be a personal offer from me, and that would be a cash offer.
Yeah, she said something about that.
Yeah, and then another option would be me giving you guys, like say 30,000, and then taking over the current mortgage. I don't know if you're open to that, but maybe that would be something that you'd be open to, and then I could make either payments monthly, or a balloon payment, and we could talk about different structures on that.
Yeah, that's a little low. I mean, the mortgage is $218 right now. That's what's owed on the mortgage. The house was appraised last year for $305, and just in our paperwork it says $271 on what was the most recent appraisal. So.
Right. Well, that offer is what that's intended to do, is make it so you guys don't have to pay a bunch of taxes on the house, and I would pay it off over a little time, and I'll lay out the structure on that. But yeah, of course, that's not the entire payment for the house.
We're not sure. Yeah, we're not trying to make a lot of money here. I mean, basically, if we could pay off the attorneys and pay off her nephew and pay off the taxes, and I'm pretty good with that.
Right. Okay. And then, well, I was going to say the last thing we can talk about is putting it on the resale market. But it sounds like you guys probably want to just get the cash offer and get it done with. And
for the most part, we want to wash our hands of the entire incident. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's where he was found. Yeah.
Understood. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm gonna when I see her, I'll give her 3 options and see which one she feels is the best.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm sure she'll call me, and we'll discuss that at that point anyway.
Of course, absolutely. So, but again, that way you have a few different solutions, and you can choose what's best for you.
Yeah.
Other than that, Wilbur, do you have questions for me that I can answer for you?
She said you were wanting the house for yourself. Is that for you to move into, or just to resell?
I would probably move into it.
Okay. I mean, Tony loved it there because it was close to UNLV, where he worked, and yeah, he enjoyed it. So.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I was there a few times. It was nice, you know.
Okay. Well, that's good that you were able to make it down to view to see the home.
Yeah, I mean, I was there a few different times, you know, over the last few years. So
Okay. Good. Good. Yeah, I know Lois said she was upset that she had never made it down, and I'm like, well, it sounds like you have a lot of loved ones and people around you, so
yeah, she has a much busier life than what I do.
right. So I I was trying to console her somewhat. Obviously, I don't know her that well, but I can imagine what she's going through. I mean, we're men, so we're kind of less emotional. I mean, still, obviously, I'm sure you're going
still
through
got my moments, man.
Yeah. No, right. But I'm just saying, generally, it's the women, or at least in my experience, they're more emotional.
Absolutely, spur of the moment kind of thing.
Right. So I was just trying to console her, like, just because you didn't make it down there doesn't mean you didn't have a beautiful relationship with your son. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, he loved his mom more than anything in the world, man. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. But there's, I guess, is there no real questions or nothing that you can think of right now?
Not that I can think of right now. I mean, we're going to weigh all our options, obviously.
Of course.
That's kind of the whole idea.
Yep, so, of course.
And you got to know what those options are first. So, there's not much I can ask now if I don't know what the heck I'm asking.
Right, okay. Well, again, it sounds like speed is more, I mean, you obviously want to pay off the house and pay off the attorney, etc.
Right.
But it does sound like speed is more of a priority than trying to get the maximum dollar amount.
Yeah, I'm not expecting $300,000 out of the house. If I could afford to make the payments and do that and just jack up the price and hold on to it until somebody wants to pay that kind of money, I'd do that. But I can't afford to make those payments, and neither can she.
Right. Okay.
So,
and do you have something in mind for what you do want for the house? Have you guys thought about that or talked about it?
Well, I'm not sure how much the taxes are going to be. That's the part that bothers me the most. But I would say somewhere between 275 area, someplace. I think that would cover everything. I know it's worth more than 271, but and even if we could settle at that but I just want to make sure that everything's paid. I don't want to have to freaking worry about anything else after that.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yeah. It's obviously once you get the house out of the way and the rest of the affairs, then you can kind of just fully grieve and have that time to really think about your son and
exactly.
Yeah, and now with this hanging over your head, it's kind of like probably harder to do that.
It is. I mean, I want to see the end of it.
Right.
He was the most precious thing in my life, and without him, what's left? I don't have any more heirs. What the heck am I supposed to do with all this crap I got?
Yeah. Well, again, yeah. I mean, are you friendly with Lois's kids or not really?
Well, not really. I mean, her oldest boy we had before we got married. I mean, but then when he was 16, he basically told me, "Hey, you're not my dad."
Yeah.
And I couldn't argue with that. And as much as I wanted to, all I could do was, "Yes, Stephen, you're right." Doesn't mean I love you any less, but and since then he's wanted nothing to do with me. So.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's. Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wish I had. It
sucks. I mean, it's plain and simple sucks. but I had to respect his wishes. So instead of taking both the boys, because at that time her daughter hadn't been born, of course, yet, so I took Tony. I'd come up and spend time with my son.
Right.
And he didn't want to have anything to do with me, and I couldn't force him to do it. So.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is maybe he would be ready to reconcile, and maybe now that he's a little older, he would think better.
Would be nice. That would be nice.
Think better of what he did, and understand that he should have had more appreciation for you stepping in and nurturing him and taking care of him and raising him, and but of course I don't know what the dynamics are now, and what I don't know him.
I mean, he was still pretty young when Lois and I divorced. Doesn't mean I didn't. I'm still there for my boys, and I'd come and visit them and do all that. But there was a time in my life too where I didn't feel worthy. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I'm a piece of crap, and they deserve better than me. And so there was a point where I wasn't around like I should have been.
Right.
So, and thank goodness for Lois's current husband, the one that she's been with for, I don't know how long, 20 some odd years, I think. Frank's a good man, and he took care of all three of her kids.
Right.
So I appreciate that from him.
Well, again, it sounds like you've come a long way. So maybe you can reconcile with.
Well, yeah, I'm not a 20-year-old kid anymore.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you sound like a very well balanced and very introspective person to me. So maybe you could reconcile. I don't know.
Yeah, I that's one of my biggest wishes, actually. I'm still. It's too bad he lives in Texas.
Right. Gotcha.
That makes it harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, it'll get better.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, Wilbur, like I said, hopefully I can help you guys, and
appreciate it.
Yeah. Again, my condolences to you and for your loss. And I told Lois that I would, hopefully she'll let me know if the court contacts you guys and gives you the go ahead to move forward with the house.
Well, we should. I mean, we had court this morning, and attorneys went to the probate court today, so we should be finding out something within the next couple of days, I would think.
I mean. Which is strange because normally the probate court is on Friday, but anyway, even once you have the judge signs off and names you as the executors, then it usually still takes another like 6 to 10 days to get the documents over to the attorney.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is, regardless, I'll follow up with Lois in about a week.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'll hear from you guys if something happens sooner than that.
Yeah.
But
I don't see anything happen. I don't see anything happening that quickly. I think it's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 weeks before she comes to Vegas. I'm not sure what her plans are. We don't really discuss that, but it's not going to happen overnight for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying I'll stay in touch with her, and then I will keep you updated as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hey, my pleasure. All right, Wilbur. Very nice talking to you, and yeah,
as well.
And just get as much support as you can, and we'll be back in touch.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Wilbur. All right, bye. All right, guys. So I know not all of you are watching to the end, but these are the kind of conversations that I really highly recommend you have. You spend a little bit longer with each particular client, and you go deep into getting to know them and letting them get to know you, rather than go wide and you're chasing down hundreds of people at a time and you don't even know who you're talking to, and they frankly don't know you at all, which makes it really impersonal. So when you call them, they're just like, who are you? I don't know if we ever talked before. I'm talking to 10 other people. The way I like to approach it is, when I call them, they're actually going to know exactly who I am, and they're going to be thinking they had a really meaningful conversation with me last time they spoke, and they're going to be glad to take my phone call. Or when these people get their court approval, they're going to reach out and let me know that, because that's the kind of rapport I've built with them. So you choose how you want to approach your business, but I prefer to put a little more time into each client, and then I'm not chasing as many people. And for me, that has yielded really massive results. And I suggest you go ahead and do that too, and at least give it a try. At least experience what it's like when you build rapport, and when you pick up the phone, you call somebody, they go, "Oh yeah, I remember you. I know exactly who you are." I think it will change your life. All right. So anyway, I'm Ken Blumberg with Making Probate Easy. If you like this video and you learned something, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Comment on the video if you learned something. What did you take away from this video? And lastly, if you want to meet me, if you want to talk to me and see if I can help you in your probate or real estate journey, let me know. Reach out to me. All my contact information is going to be in the description. My name, email address, so you can send me a text, call me, send me an email, and we can schedule a 15-minute Zoom meeting to see if I might be a good fit to work with you and help take your business to the next level. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and bye for now.